The tantric symbols or the tantric yantras, the sacred geometry representation of philosophy, that is what I would like to call these yantras, are the easiest way to connect with the unmanifest or to explore those kind of energies on you. So when I start to work on these yantras, I took a project or I took a direction to put Dasamahavidyas on canvas. So these yantras which I have done is not done prana pradishta. We could say it is a piece of artwork that can actually transcend human consciousness in a better way. So here in the Dasamahavidya yantras of the Dasamahavidyas, there are 10 goddesses are there. They are Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari or Shodasi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamastha, Dhumabadi, Baglamukhi, Matangi and Kamalatmika. So these are the 10 goddesses or 10 faces of divine femininity. So when we try to analyze these 10 figures, we need to understand what is that symbols means and what is that symbols are actually signifies. So each symbols has its own significance, its own mudra, and its own mantras. From the Saundralakari, the book which is written by Sri Shankaracharya, we could actually identify how to create the mantras for each yantras. Like if you are good in at identifying the mantras, you could actually create a yantra that is based on your own quality and mantra, and you can actually consecrate that particular mantra into this particular yantra. That could actually lead you to be in a higher conscious state. So let's simplify this and let's see what all are these stuffs are meaning. Like so in each yantra there are mainly uh, five symbols are being used. These are the all other symbols are the configuration of these symbols, like derivatives of these particular symbols. So each yantra has a bindu in at it middle. Bindu means it's a dot, it's a union, greater union. We all know physics explains the universe as begins from the big bang. So before big bang there was singularity. So the dot in each yantra represents the singularity point or the unmanifested state. There is nothing, it's everything at the same time, it is nothing. So the each yantra has a bindu that is in the middle, and that is the unmanifest state. And around once the yantra start to expand, or the once the bindu start to expand, it is the expansion of the consciousness. The expansion of the consciousness is being represented by a circle. So the circle in a yantra means it's nothing but it's an expansion of the consciousness. And there is triangles inside the inside the yantras. Each yantras we could see there are triangles, which is one is downward facing triangle and another one is upward facing triangle. So the downward facing triangle is the representation of the Shakti or the feminine divinity. And the upward facing triangle is the representation of the masculine divinity or the Shiva consciousness. So when this Shakti and Shiva comes together, the new creation happens. This is how all the yantras are talking about. Now the when the circle is facing downward, it is being represented with a mudra called Yoni Mudra. So how to make a Yoni Mudra, we can talk in another video. I'll explain that in another video. And the upward facing triangle is being shown by Linga Mudra. So these are the two mudras which is associated with this. Downward facing triangle is Yoni Mudra, and that is Shakti, and the upward facing triangle is the Linga Mudra, that is Shiva. And the square is another stuff which you can see around each yantra, which is in which has four gates. That is the stand for each yantra. That is all the yantras and stuffs like that is actually located in the square. So this square is representing a stability, a stable state. That is what the square is being called. And each edge of the square or each side of the square, there is a T-shaped gate that is in northeast southwest. So there is a direction also there in the yantra construction. So the vertical so the square is consisting of two vertical and two horizontal lines. So it's consequently a balanced shape that does not impress too much. So instead of square, so the vertical lines is the movement, and the horizontal lines is the stability. So this is how we understand the square. And the lotus petals, so each yantras has lotus petal which is like 5. Sometime it will be 5, then sometime it will be 18, sometime it will be 12, then sometime it will be 16. So if the number of the petals are 8, it symbolizes the limited human being, characterized by 8 fundamental aspects, which is ether, air, fire, water, earth. With that, mind, the intellect, and the ego. In the if that is 5, then which is like ether, earth, fire, water, and ether, air, fire, water, and earth. So this is the panchabhutas if the petals number is 5. And if the petals number is 8, there is mind, intellect, and ego is also added to the 5. And if it is a 16 petals symbolize the 16 phases of the moon, the 16 nityas of the moon, or the energetic quantum, or the kala of the moon, which is been represented by the 16 petals. And the 12 petals which is related to the sun, and the 12 astrological signs which is like 12 directions. If you take a rashi chakra which is used in the astrological representation, so this 12 petals is the representation of that 12 direction, or the 12 astrological I mean the zodiacs which is been in the astrological chart. So this is the way to unlock. These are the things which we can learn from a yantra. This is how we have to unlock the yantra. So now we will see how we can use an yantra. Apart from this, in yantras there are colors. For example, Kali is in black and Durga is in saffron and stuffs like that. So the colors and the representation of the significance of the colors we will discuss in the another video, which I would love to do one video for each yantra, like for example Kali for Kali yantra and things like that. So that we will discuss later. So in this in this video I want to add how we can use this particular yantra. So for example, you created the Kali, or you got the yantra of the Kali. Now what you will do with the Kali? You have to consecrate the Kali in that particular yantra. That is called prana pratishtha. Once the yantra painting is being made, you have to consecrate the mantra of the Kali in that particular yantra. This particular process is called prana pratishtha. Once you have done this prana pratishtha, you could use it for a meditational purpose. That will gradually help you to unmanifest your own self and get connected to the Kali very easily. How we can do that? Hang the yantra on the wall so that its center is at the level of your eyes. When you are sitting, sit on a chair or stay in a meditation pose, keeping your spine erect. Keep the yantra around 1 or 1 to 5 meter distance. Relax as much as possible and remove any superfluous thought from your mind, and look at the entire drawing focusing on its center. So now you can see you are focusing on the bindu, and from there the consciousness start to expand, and the colors you are going to meditate and the mantras you are going to meditate. So this is how you will be get consecrated, or you will be get into the trance with that particular goddess or goddesses, or whatever, or the divine femininity, or things like that. So, and one of the important point which I would like to add to this particular stuff is that the yantras are not a two dimensional geometry. It is actually three dimension. It's a three dimensional geometry that that is being used to construct the temples and homakundas and things like that in India. So thank you. If you have any questions, you can write to me, and I'll be answering accordingly.